So in a recent free DLC, we have finally had the long-awaited introduction of the Portimao circuit to the game. So in a proper way to celebrate, we're just gonna do a 25% race as who else could you do a race as at the moment than Daniel Ricciardo? So here we are for the first laps of Portimao. Of course, I've done a couple in time trial just to get the use of the track. But yeah, basically the sum of the track, just some of the track. This first couple corners, very not. Most corners on the track are very nice, free flowing. Anyway, get a bit of a build up the hill for the DRS. This turn 5 definitely the hardest corner of the track. You need to get right for the hairpin to get a good traction for a very quick turn 6, 7 section. And you need to get off the throttle enough for 7. Do the opposite of what I've done for that turn, building up to the roller coaster section. As Lando Norris would say, moving up and down, side to side like the roller coaster. Yeah, the two quick roller coasters. They're hills, but I call them roller coasters. I don't care. Yeah, see, it takes time to learn this track as going very wide in a lot of these turns. Building up the momentum for the last turn into the DRS. You can see how far behind we are. Very not used to this track, even though it's very fast free flowing, which is the tracks I like in the game. But yeah, only P10 will be starting tomorrow, unfortunately.
You join us in Portimao as we prepare for what will undoubtedly be a magnificent day of racing. It's time, of course, for the Portuguese Grand Prix. 2.9 miles of track at Portimao featuring 15 turns, 9 to the right and 6 to the left. There's a lot going on here, a lot of elevation changes that will affect the driver's braking and acceleration. Keep an eye out for the DRS zone on the final straight. That will be the setup for a lot of today's overtaking chances. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. And it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the rundown into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Norris, Sainz, Gasly, Fernando Alonso and Daniel Ricciardo, Vettel, Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda and Stroll, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, George Russell and Mick Schumacher, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Five red lights. Lights out, away we go, and we get horrible wiggle spin off the start. Not how we wanted it. This is the first racing style I've done on the track, so it's gonna be very okay. Then we definitely have damage off Norris. We got absolutely spanked around the place to start, but we just found a gap. We did what Ayrton Senna would do. We saw a gap, we went for it. Somehow did not get damage off our teammate. It's like I'm right there, I'm checking if there's damage. Somehow there isn't. But yeah, we've jumped from 12 to 7 basically after our horrendous start. Just found a gap. Now for the first time onto the roller coasters in our racing scenario. Oh no, very satisfying. No, most corners on the track are satisfying anyway. But yeah, gotta love the roller coasters. But yeah, just now gonna build up just to show how much of a DRS heavy track this is. Slipstream Fest also on the back straight. Just building up for the first time, getting through turn 15. If you hit turn 15 right, you get a lovely slipstream off the bat. See, we're going to be gaining on signs. We were about 9/10 on signs at the start of the straight, and we went down to 4/10. So this is without DRS. Just shows the power of slipstream on this track, and also Sainz had slipstream from his teammate Leclerc, but we had a double Ferrari slipstream, which of course is gonna work. Mighty, and we're gonna see if we go for nope, way too deep into that, which we will be punished for. And right now, with DRS, I'll show you why this track is a bitch for DRS. Remember 2020 when it was just a DRS fest the whole race? Yeah, that's exactly why. Just DRS. If you have DRS, you're gonna make the pass simple as on this track, which could make for fun exciting racing, or unless you're the guy in front and you are wishing death upon yourself, which is not fun. But yeah, the DRS on the 4 to 5 not as effective. You see Sainz not getting us that much with DRS. This was clearly the main straight. So we're gonna now see how the undercut works on this track, which probably is going to be really effective, seeing how fast this track is, especially on fresh rubber. The only issue is trying to find the gap, which of course is near impossible in a 25% race. We might feed out between Schumacher and Latifi. Well, no, we're going to be right at the back. We're going to be close to Mazepin. Now, hopefully Mazepin is nice to us, which won't happen because Mazepin. What did I say? It's Mazepin. But yeah, it just shows like we had a purple first sector, but we just copped the Mazepin at the worst possible spot to ruin the undercut completely. So you just see we had to basically, look here, slow down for the corners just because of how fast we are compared to Mazepin. But it's just impossible to overtake on this part of the track. Realistically, only overtaking spots are turn 1 and turn 5. Unless you want to be ballsy into turn 3, but after that it's near impossible. As you see, Leclerc with ease stays ahead of us just because we couldn't optimize the tire strategy. But definitely undercutting is going to be very powerful on this track if you just get the gaps. And nothing else really happened the rest of the race. Just gonna show off the roller coaster one more time because it's very satisfying. And who just left roller coaster? Verstappen won. Yeah, nothing else happened. We kept the gap to Alonso. Leclerc kept the gap to us. But Daniel Ricciardo comes home to take P6 in Portugal, which I think he got similar enough real life in Portugal. I know he had like a 16th to high position anyway, but yeah,